We've dug in and identified 5 key blueprints that are turning science fiction into reality. Let's break them down. Okay, first up is what I'd call the foundation for any truly successful product or company, the grok factor. This is really the soul of innovation. So, this term grok, it comes from Robert Heinlein's classic novel, Stranger in a Strange Land. To grok something isn't just to know it with your brain, it's to understand it on this incredibly deep, intuitive level. And, it is absolutely no coincidence that Musk named his AI grok. He's signaling that the whole point isn't just processing data, it's about achieving a deep, human-centric understanding. This really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you've got your basic surface-level data. You know what your users are doing. But on the other side, you have that deep, intuitive grokking where you finally understand why they do it. It's the difference between just building with code and building with real, genuine empathy. Honestly, this is why some products just fizzle out while others become something we can't live without. They've reached that warm hug level of connection. But look, having deep empathy is great, but it's not enough. The path to innovation is, let's be honest, paved with absolute chaos and failure. So our second blueprint gives you the mindset you need to survive it all. And that mindset, it can be summed up in just 2 simple words. That's it, 2 simple words, famously printed on the cover of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. And this is not just a joke. It is the ultimate survival guide for anyone trying to build something new. Innovation is messy. Timelines are going to slip, experiments are going to fail, and yeah, rockets might even explode. This whole philosophy is about facing that absurdity with a sense of humor and resilience. So how do you actually put "don't panic" into practice? Well, here's the playbook. First, you reframe what failure even means. When those early SpaceX rockets blew up, they weren't called failures. They were called rapid, unscheduled disassemblies. Now, that use of humor isn't just to get a laugh. It actively reduces stress, and it allows the whole team to pivot with optimism. It's basically engineering resilience with a wink. A resilient mindset helps you get through the failures. But what's it all for? What's the bigger picture? The third blueprint answers that by zooming way, way out, from building a single product to building a future for all of humanity. This is about thinking in terms of generations, not just quarterly reports. This kind of long-term vision, what people often call long-termism, is really built on the shoulders of sci-fi giants. From Isaac Asimov's Foundation, innovators learn to think in centuries, to try and anticipate these massive societal trends. From Frank Herbert's Dune, they get this crucial warning about the dangers of being dependent on a single planet. And then from books like Kim Stanley Robinson's Red Mars, they get these imaginative, almost practical blueprints for what colonization could actually look like. And this quote just brilliantly captures the why behind it all. The push to go to Mars or build truly sustainable futures isn't some kind of escapism. It's about protecting humanity, making sure our species can thrive beyond our one pretty fragile planet. It is, at its very core, an act of love for the future. Okay, so a grand vision is amazing, but it's worthless if you don't have the courage to act on it. And that is where our fourth blueprint comes in. You need the risk-taker's soul. That's the conviction required to take these terrifyingly huge leaps of faith. Billions. Yeah, that's the level of risk we're talking about. Imagine betting your entire fortune on electric cars when nobody believed in them, or on reusable rockets when the entire industry said it was impossible. This kind of conviction is straight out of the pages of sci-fi, inspired by literary adventurers who just defied the odds through sheer force of will. But let's be really clear here. This is not reckless gambling. It's about making calculated, data-driven leaps. That conviction isn't built on blind hope. It's built through thousands of small, rapid experiments, like iterating on those rocket landings over and over and over again. It's about having the audacity, not to just fear the gods of the status quo, but to actually challenge them. So now we've arrived at our final and maybe the most critical blueprint. With deep empathy, with resilience, a long-term vision, and courage, you can build incredible things. But with a technology as powerful as AI, we also need an ethical framework to make sure it serves humanity instead of harming it. The stakes really could not be higher. On one side, you have thinkers like Nick Bostrom who warn that an uncontrolled superintelligence could literally be our final invention, a potential overlord. But on the other side, writers like Max Tegmark show us a path where AI becomes a true partner for humanity, amplifying our creativity, our intelligence, and even our compassion. So how do we navigate this fork in the road? Well, the solution proposed by these blueprints is to build AI from the ground up with human values baked into its core. It's all about infusing it with a metaphorical heart, aligning its goals with our best qualities, like curiosity and kindness. That's how we make sure AI becomes a partner and not a problem. So there you have it, the 5 literary blueprints for innovation. Grok your users so you can build with real empathy. Don't panic when things go sideways. Think in multiplanetary terms. Have the soul of a risk taker. And finally, and most importantly, build technology like AI with a heart. Ultimately, what these blueprints show us is that every great technological leap, every game-changing company, every empire, it all began as a story that someone dared to imagine. So the final question isn't just for the billionaires and the rocket scientists. It's for you. What story will you build?